This is it. This is episode 9. This is episode 9. That means I'm out of the running.
I missed that bit, but yeah, it is episode 9.
It's episode 9 and I've lost.
I know.
Oh,
God damn
gutted,
it.
dude.
We're both out of our own competition. Twice in 1 week.
Yeah,
I was
that's-
out of the haircut one, first round.
mate.
Out of this
I know,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, gutted. Well, I guess we kind of got positive news-ish. Kind of. It's quite confusing news, but they're trying their best out here, aren't they?
What's that with the corona?
How much longer we got to do it for? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What was... I mean, I don't know, man. The whole thing is getting more and more... Not ridiculous, but there's so much... I feel like there's more confusion at the moment.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know.
I think. Imagine fitting everything into 10 minutes to a nation.
Impossible.
Yeah. You're gonna be
Impossible.
like, right, okay, and now we're on to our COVID-19 standards for dirt jumping.
Yeah, I know, right? It's true. It is
Only
so true.
360 if you've been. Yeah.
If you've been doing them for 10 plus years, you can do one
Yeah,
every single
exactly.
day.
Yeah, it's impossible, isn't it? But I think they're doing.
100%.
I think they're doing a good job, to be honest. I
Thing
think
is, you're never going to please everybody, right? So no matter
Nah.
what he says, people are going to moan and they're going to be confused.
yeah.
It does get slightly annoying though when people are asking a million questions, and it's just like, for me, use your fucking brain. Just use your brain.
Dude. Did you know what I think's weird? I've noticed is like the hindsight thing. So I've been watching. I know you stick your head in the sand. You can't be asked, can you? I've been watching the news though a
Right.
bit. You know, not shitloads, but a little bit. And like the dude dropped his 10-minute speech, right?
Yeah.
And then within seconds they have every criticism. There's no there's no positive message ever. It's just they have every criticism of what's happened, and then they just focus on what we've done wrong, like instantly.
Yeah, but that's the news, isn't it? That is the news cycle. That is what makes
Oh, how crap
the
is
news.
that though?
It is so shit.
Do you get much on these podcasts? Do you get a lot of shit? Do you get a lot of people moaning? Wow, Olly
Few.
said this. Wow. Do you?
Yeah. There's a
Go on, let's
classic.
bring 'em up.
There's a
Come
classic pink bike comment from the last one, which was just harsh.
Oh, let's hear it. I'm ready for it. I'm fucking ready, dude.
Do you want to find it? Shall I find it?
Yeah, do it. I'm ready.
I don't know how I'm gonna find it. I got to go on the blog, I think.
Yeah, this is the problem though, because then you give them the time of day.
Yeah,
And, and then it encourages them.
And you've brought this up. I am not moaning about it at all.
No, I know, and you
At all.
don't. No.
I do not care one little bit to some extent.
No, I think you've got a good view of all this. I think you have. I don't know why. It's only because we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't look at the pink bike comment.
Well, I can read it. Yeah, it's just kind of funny.
All right, let's do
All
it.
right,
Yeah.
so the episode. Okay, so the episode with Emily Hansen went out.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I was kind of happy with it. To be honest, I was like,
Yeah.
that was nice. Like we just sat and chatted. We didn't argue. I didn't speak over him very often. You know, it's one of those things, dude. I like to keep this whole thing so chill that you just sat talking to someone. It's not an interview. We're not trying to be like, oh, tell me about this and trying to catch people out. It's just a chill conversation, and whatever comes up, right? Always had the same opinion. And then went out, and I was like, that's pretty cool. Pink Bike picked it up. It's always nice. And then the first comment was, try not swearing all the time, try not interrupting your guests all the time, and stop being so psychophantic.
I'd have to look that up as well.
Yeah, me too.
And
I did look it
I'll
up
tell-
at the time, and I thought, that is, I don't think true, but maybe it is.
I mean, if he didn't like you and Emil swearing, I doubt he's a big fan of the Lockdown Companion. I can't help it, man.
No.
And what I say to his comment is, he can go fuck himself.
Totally. That's exactly what I thought. And then, yeah, I don't know, whatever. It happens though, doesn't it? I think whenever you put anything out, do you get any with anything you do or have done?
Do you know what? They've been lovely, the YouTube gang. YouTube gang have been lovely. And I quite, every now and then, if you're bored and you're in an airport or whatever, or you're, killing time,
Yeah.
I don't mind responding to a few, give them something to think about, because I think it's useful that people know that someone's on the other end of it. 100%. But then equally, I'm kind of torn, because equally, why just give them?
Oh, you mean if you get a negative one, you'd do it back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got you.
Positive ones, I try and reply to everyone possible, and mate, I'm not saying I'm not in any way big time, but it mounts up. Even if you get 30 comments, let's say on a YouTube video, 30 is a lot of things to say, like, oh, thanks very much, oh, nice one.
If you say it's a minute every time you reply, 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Decent.
But then I appreciate every single one of those people is an individual, and they've each put a bit of effort in, and they've each watched it, and they probably appreciate you getting back. I don't know. I don't really know. I think the positive option is always the best one to go with in these cases. Every now and then, though.
What's your social media stance on it? Because I've had a taste over the last sort of few months, really, as well. I always get quite a lot of messages. People reach out and say nice things and stuff. But the last few months have been, because we've had running storylines and we've had competitions. It's been It's almost it's a good 2 hours every day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and I try and limit my social media to 30 minutes, so it's tough. But last night, I got in the bath and I was like, right, I'm going to clear all these messages. There was 30 maybe of people just sharing stuff, and I always like to go through and just say thank you, but it's hard. It's really hard to keep on top of it. But like you said, I feel like I want to say thank you because it's a nice thing that they've even sent a message. So thank you to everyone who does that.
Definitely, yeah, and keep doing it as well, and keep doing it, and just be aware that they might not get seen, but I think as a general policy, I try and reply to as much as physically possible.
Yeah,
because I just think also I feel like people aren't watching anything I put out as a race run. They're watching it largely because they feel like, especially with these stupid dildo camera videos, they feel like they know me or they have some sort of connection.
100%.
And it's good to kind of encourage that. I say it like I'm doing it on purpose. I actually just like the people that say nice things, and I think you should say nice things back.
I agree, totally, dude.
Yeah.
Totally. And I've met so many cool people through doing this podcast. Honestly, it's insane. I met a guy the other day out riding, actually, who listened to the podcast, and I was like, it's just crazy. So nice.
Yeah, it's sick. It's really cool. Really cool. What did Bernard said something to me the other day about negative comments. He said a really funny. Oh yeah, that was it. Because he's the same. He doesn't really, especially with his following, it's very difficult for him to get through all of them.
Right.
And someone had said something shitty about a camera work or something like that, and rightly so. He sort of said, "Well, dude, you don't have to watch it."
Yeah.
You didn't. First of all, you didn't pay for it. I get it. If you pay for it and the camera work is shoddy, fair enough.
That's fair.
But you don't have. No one made you watch it. You watched it, and it was made for free by someone else.
Yeah.
You go and make a video. See how much effort it is.
Doing it, hours and hours doing it, and that's I think.
I
think that's why sometimes those little ones on Pink Bike or whatever sort of niggle a little bit, because you nailed it there. It was free. It was free. There is no sponsors involved. There's nothing. It's free. And then you're just why be shitty? What's the point?
Click the X, man. That little X in the corner. Just click that, and it's gone from your life. You carry on. You can carry on jacking yourself off and writing horrible comments elsewhere.
Yeah.
Man, Pink Bike's bad for it, actually. So things I've noticed, it's very strange, because ultimately all of these are just different platforms putting out content. Everyone talks about including myself, I talk about YouTube content as being this, Instagram content as being this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They're all just a thing that you upload stuff onto.
A publishing tool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yet all of them have very different tones. And I think we talked about it before, parents not getting the Instagram tone or whatever. But I've really noticed YouTube, from my experience, has been super positive. Everyone's lovely. Everyone's writing really nice messages and saying, thanks, we're bored. Thanks for putting something up, you know.
Yeah.
Instagram, largely, it's positive, I would say. You get a few little heroes in there. Pink Bike, man. Fuck.
Brutal.
Go on any one of those articles.
Brutal.
And it is brutal. And then you click on any one of those people that's commented, and you just and you know, if you click on their name,
Yeah.
you see the comments that they've left on previous videos.
Yes.
It's like 100% negativity.
Yes. Well,
on their little thing.
I did click on my one, the latest one. No other comments on nothing ever.
Oh, really?
And I was like,
you
probably
really
set up an account to do that. His
name's not DH Kenny.
No, I should have called it out though. I did forget. We should have had a look.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can find it. It's on the Emil Johansson one. Anyway.
Well, mate, I'm sure you did a sterling job. I think the cool thing is that is, yeah, exactly. And if you're doing something for the right reasons, it's largely not. You don't those things. You become immune to those things.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way in a way. If I'm doing something because I just like it and I want to do it, you can say what the fuck you want. It's like,
true.
I've done it, and I've done it because I wanted to do it. I don't actually. Yeah.
And I think Bernard's a good example of that. You know, he put himself out there big time with that Supercross thing. I mean, he
exactly,
put himself on the line for
comment what you want.
Everyone in America, Supercross fans, pretty much say fuck off. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? He put himself out there big time.
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, you know, no doubt he's going to get a lot of negativity, but to be confident enough to just be like, no, I'm doing it anyway because I want to do it. It's just an aspiration of mine. I'm just going to carry on. It's pretty cool. Like, credit to the guy, to be fair.
Ultimately, without getting too deep, me and my girlfriend were talking about it the other day. We're talking about as you get older, you realise that people being shitty with you, it's more of a reflection on how they feel. And I think about that way more. Like, as I've got older, I care way less what people think and stuff like that. But actually, I don't. I just think, oh, poor fucker, you know. Oh, he got loads of dead arms from his older brother, or his dad never said well done enough, or his mum didn't pay attention when he was doing an endo in the garden. And it's like I think those things, like that's my like go-to fucking that's how I judge a situation now. Whereas in all my life before, I cared so much what people
really
thought when I was younger and when I got bullied or whatever.
Right.
When I had shit times, I thought they were that. I really took those negative things as a reflection on me. Whereas now I just think, oh, poor fucker, he's got a small dick, or he can't do it. He can't do 10 press ups, or he can't hit a turn quick. I don't know.
You're right. I always have a similar thought, especially when you encounter stuff like that. You never know what's going on with other people. Behind the scenes, you never know if they're having someone might have just died.
No, I feel sad for him. I'm not being. I don't mean it I mean it a little bit fuck 'em all, but equally I mean it like in the nicest possible way. You've had a shit time to make you like that, haven't you? Yeah, do your thing. I don't mind if you're feeling like you want to be negative about every single piece of free content you're given on the internet of people following their dreams, riding their bikes. Be negative about it.
Enjoy your job.
It's absolutely your God-given right.
Yeah, it's true.
But whether it actually makes you feel better, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Never. What you mean, writing the negative stuff?
Yeah. I think what it makes that like coal in your core, that hard black ball in the middle of you, I reckon that just grows and you just get more and more negative, and your dick shrinks smaller.
Yeah. It must do. I don't know. Maybe it does feel kind of nice.
It can't, man. It's like fucking stealing candy off a baby writing a comment. It's too easy, dude.
Yeah. Would they say it to your face as well? That's always the thing, innit? Would someone come over and say, I hate your podcast, I hate your video, ride, stick your dildo up your ass?
Yeah. I don't think they would. I think yeah. I mean, it's sort of more what a dildo is for rather than filming yourself on a bike ride, but yeah, I don't think they would. It's the same as road rage, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like your lizard brain. You don't really feel that way. You're not really going to say that to a woman. Get the fuck out of my way. Why are you... You're never going to say it, are you? But in the moment, that part of your brain's like...
Yeah. Funniest bit of road rage I've ever experienced. I don't think it was... Maybe it was road rage, but it was mainly just someone being a dick.
Yeah.
Remember Prince Nazim?
Yeah.
So me and my mate, when we were younger, we were walking through Sheffield town centre, and Prince Nazim pulled up bang at the side of us in a Porsche. And my mate, bless him at the time, not the best looking guy in the world, big lad, he used to have a lazy eye, he weren't the best looking kid. Anyway, Prince Nazim pulls up the side of us at some traffic lights. My mate goes, "Rev it," and Prince Nazim shouts back, "Shut up, you fat cunt."
Dude, I bet it can't
classic.
feel good pulling away in your Porsche, though,
No.
after saying that.
It wasn't much longer after that when he was in prison because he got done for a hit and run. But I think that was karma.
No,
Unless my fat mate just stepped out in front of him just to try and teach him a lesson.
There you go.
Yeah.
Big lazy eye Larry.
It's funny times, man. I always remember that whenever I see like anything with him. It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird actually, isn't it, to think? Because actually that's a weird example because he's obviously achieved a lot.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have thought it'd be so lame. Like watching these Last Dance documentaries, I know I've blabbed on about it every single fucking episode.
I haven't seen the last two. The latest two are out, aren't they? 7 and 8?
Yeah. But you know, you get the idea of the amount of what it's like to be at the top of your game. If you're Prince Nazim, if you're Michael Jordan, if you're Muhammad Ali, if you're, to a certain extent, if you're Aaron Gwynn, just how actually no, not Aaron Gwynn, fuck that. Aaron Gwynn at a World Cup, it's a pain in the arse, but normal everyday life, he's not getting pestered, is he?
No.
But MJ, man, the scrutiny, everything you do comes with.
There's a really nice shot in that documentary where he's laid on the sofa smoking a cigar and he's just like,
exactly,
I'm out. I can't do it anymore. I'm out. It's
when
really
he's like,
interesting.
this is the only moment I get to myself.
Yeah, and even then, there's someone filming him, which is just so ironic, but
never stops.
It must be horrible, man. It must be.
What an amazing guy. My hero's got even more of a hero from that series.
Yeah, it's good. Like I said, I haven't watched 7 and 8 yet. Was it out in America earlier than here or not?
I don't think so. I think they come out every Monday, 2 episodes. It wasn't meant to be out yet, but they put it out because of the pandemic. And
I heard someone
I think they're out
about
at the same time.
That's in that series that hasn't come up yet, and I was just curious if they'd seen it before. I'll not spoiler alert, but
interesting.
Yeah.
Right, it might be in 7 or 8.
Is there a murder in 7 and 8?
Yes,
that's what it was. There you go. Right, okay. We'll not say who it is. So, even that, how he dealt with that, and it goes back to what we were saying about negativity. To be honest, like how the press dealt with that whole thing. They didn't deal with it like someone's just lost someone very close to them. I don't know why I'm trying to do a non-spoiler alert or whatever. So it's Michael Jordan's dad was murdered. Yeah.
And they didn't deal with it like Michael Jordan's dad was murdered. They deal with it like some sort of fucking conspiracy, which I'm sick of anyway, man, from this bloody pandemic and people calling it the plandemic. And people calling people...
Plandemic? That's brilliant.
Plandemic is a thing, and sheeple.
Sheep?
I mean, as if. Plandemic. You think the world's that organised? You think there's a group of people that clever? No, dummies, dude. I can't... I want to be nice about people's ideas and stuff, but fucking... Yeah.
So basically, this week, Boris Johnson did a talk. I haven't watched it. Apparently, it wasn't very clear. It's about as clear as a 17-year-old SDI test.
Yeah.
And no one really understands what we're doing any different. I feel like it's the same.
My takeaway is...
That's my takeaway.
This is it. This is me doing the Boris thing. I can't remember exactly how he speaks.
Right.
But if I could, I'd do an impression now. I think he's saying, we're doing good. Thanks for doing good. If we continue to do good, this graph's going to go down and the things you can do is going to go up.
Right.
So he's given us a few little things, a few little drips of positivity, but he doesn't want to open the floodgates because as soon as the graph goes like that, it's going to be a second lockdown, which is going to be way more frustrating than the first, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And part of me feels like it's a little bit inevitable. Like,
do you think?
Well, as soon as people...
Do you want to bring up some real-time death rates?
Let's do that.
God, that's a morbid thing to say, isn't it? I'm so sorry for everybody listening.
No,
bring up some real-time death rates.
Let's do it, dude. Let's do it.
I'm just curious.
We're not. After all this chat about people not being positive, we've not been that positive so far this episode. I need to up my game. I'm happy, man. I'm happy. I'm
stoked, mate. I'm
good.
I'm stoked. I'm busy. I'm riding my bike a lot. I'm running a lot.
Good.
Feeling good.
Okay, so UK, we don't have any updated ones for the new deaths on worldometers today.
Okay.
What I've learned through all of this is that the stats are actually, every different country has a different way of measuring it. So you can only take them a little bit roughly. But right now, the UK is in second place. This tiny island is in second place with the total deaths. with 32,000 deaths.
Wow.
USA's number one, way bigger, 81,000. So we've really, it's been hit.
So we've
hit us really hard. Yes, yeah.
Oh, no way. Wow.
Italy's on 30,000. I mean, a lot of people are saying like Italy hasn't included care home deaths, and they count it different, and that they're about to drop another 10,000 into their equation or whatever. But I think the numbers will become clearer. But it's no joke, dude. Like it's not been good for the UK, and I think Boris has got a tough job in his hands. He's got to approach this conservatively. It's the only way that you can. So my takeaway is everyone's doing great. Keep it up.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Stop
keep
asking
it up
stupid questions.
Yeah. What could we have done?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I hate all the. If my dog sees another dog and I take it home, do I have to clean it? Like, fuck off.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Use your brains.
Yes.
Use your brains.
It is crazy.
You know what else pisses me off about coronavirus?
Go on, let's watch this. A negativity episode. Let's hear it.
Charity songs. Dude.
Charity songs are tough. They're tough, yeah.
Why take a good song, which is... They've done one for coronavirus, which is it Foo Fighters? They've done a Foo Fighters one.
Tough. Make me want to curl up.
They've done
I'm
a
going to
Foo
be
Fighters
honest.
one, and I can't remember what song it is. Oh,
anything with a hint of self-importance is a tough one to swallow.
And then loads of people sing verses, and they're all in different keys. It's just awful. Like, why? Just do your own song.
And it's like, oh, there's a pandemic. Anyway, let's make this about me.
Yeah.
Closed eyes singing.
And what's weird
Imagine all the people. How can you do it, man?
I know. So all the rich people are making a song to make the poor people donate money. In a way. Why don't the rich people just donate the money and make their own song? It just makes... Like, why spoil a song?
It's tough, isn't it? It is tough.
It's tough.
Ultimately, it's for a nice reason, so we just got to swallow it, but...
God, I'm negative today. Anyway.
You are, aren't you? I think I am as well. No, I'm not. I'm not positive. Let's. Have you got 3 things?
Yeah. I think so.
Good man.
Yeah. I have actually. 3 things. We didn't do an 8.5, so we'll do some of those as well. Maybe we drag Needles in to do some dope or nopes and stuff.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah.
We've got Andrew Neethling joining us in roughly 30 minutes. So that'll be lovely.
Fantastic. He's announced the guest, Andrew Neethling. What a guy!
What a legend of a bloke.
What a legend.
And then we've got to do the melon giveaway results,
mate. That blew up, didn't it?
It did, didn't it? It was really good, actually. Super.
Millions of people.
Yeah, millions. It was
not millions, but a lot.
Yeah, some zeros.
Yeah.
So there's some zeros involved. It was crazy. It's been really, the old social media stuff's been a bit wild. Like I said, the the mop down was.
Yeah, that went well, didn't it?
The mop down went really well. That could be arguably one of my worst ideas that turned out to be quite funny.
The Scorpion King took the win.
Scorpion King got in there.
Took the win from win.
He did. It was crazy, man, how many people were voting for that. And
that's wicked.
Before I did the results, before I put them up, there was like 50-something images of people's hairs for me to trawl through. I'm like, this is mental.
Yeah.
And they kept coming. It's crazy. I think my merch just came.
Nice, dude.
So. I just heard the door.
Nice.
Beautiful.
My merch.
Merch has been going good. Yours seems to be doing...
Yeah, it's been going really very positive response from the jet ski tees. Everyone wants a jet ski. It's not just me, man.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, happy, yeah.
I like them. We'll do the melon thing in a bit, can't we? I'll give you my 3 things. I'll give you my 3 things.
Please, let's hear them.
Number 1, inspired by you and a documentary, Space Jam is on Netflix.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Space Jam, done. I'm going to introduce my girlfriend to Space Jam as if she hasn't watched enough old shite.
With Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I know, right? With me on the edge of my seat. Did you see that?
So Space Jam is, Space Jam's on Netflix, and I thought, that's cool. I'll get that on.
Dude.
So I watched that the other day.
Wicked.
Which was nice. Felt like a kid again. I mean, it's not a great film, but...
What do you mean? It's the best. It's not a great film. It's the best film.
I enjoyed it. Going back to my youth a wee bit.
I don't like Space Jam. I love it.
And what else? I wrote another one down. Oh, have you seen The Story of God on Netflix with Morgan Freeman?
Oh, I think I may have done.
It's lovely viewing.
Is it? Right, I'm going to write that down.
It's very chilled. It's very informative, and I sort of enjoy learning about stuff like ancient, myths, if you could call it a myth, or whatever religion is and stuff. So I've enjoyed watching that. I've started from the start, actually, from season 1. There's 3 seasons. The new one just came on, but I thought, well, why watch the third one? Because I've not watched the first or the second one.
Yeah.
So I've started at the beginning, and I'm working my way through. But so far, mate, it's just beautiful viewing. I mean, what a bloke, Morgan Freeman.
He's got a lovely, lovely voice, hasn't he?
Lovely voice, just chill. I just enjoy it. So
wicked. Hey, weirdly, that's one of my well, not really that weirdly, but one of my 3. Sorry to butt in.
Go for it.
But it's a Netflix series called Unorthodox, and it follows a girl who is an Hasidic Jew,
right? And
she's leaving the Hasidic Jews.
Ah, okay. Is it good? Is it
really good? Because I find all that stuff mega interesting. Like I watched a documentary on I don't know, Hasidic Judaism. Is that what you say?
I believe so.
It's like an extreme. I don't want to say it wrong, but it's like an extreme subsection of
Judaism.
Judaism, yeah. And it's really strict, and they got loads of weird rules. And I find religion fascinating anyway.
Yeah.
And this one's like I think it got commended for being super accurate. So.
Oh wow!
Like there's so many crazy things that religion leads people to do, and to each their own. But I find it well interesting. So Hasidic Jews, in case you were wondering, are the ones with the curly things down the sides of their heads, and they have quite often big hats on.
Yeah,
and then they always wear like the same like robes.
Dealing diamonds. A lot of Jews.
A lot of Jews do. But I think Hasidic Jews even more conservative than that. I think they're like really like separate from modern society. They all speak Yiddish, which is like kind of Germany, a Germanic language.
It's more like Yugoslavian, I think.
See, look at this. We're just saying words. We don't know if they're real. Yeah. But that's why we watch documentaries, because for that moment that you're watching it, you actually do know something, and then quickly you lie down and then that information leaves, and then you go on a podcast and then you regurgitate rubbish essentially, and people listen, and then they regurgitate maybe our rubbish. It's like Chinese whispers. It like goes down the stream until everyone's talking nonsense.
I wonder if anyone's ever said, I once heard on a podcast and referred to this podcast. I once heard.
Imagine.
You'd be like,
imagine.
Wow.
I repeat stuff I hear.
There were satellites in the sky, and you'd be like,
yeah.
Elon Musk satellites. How weird is that? Elon Musk was then on Joe Rogan just a few days after we did this.
Yeah, crazy. I'm yet to listen to that. It's good. I look forward to it. He's a mega interesting bloke, isn't he?
Yeah. So that's your number 1. What's your number 2?
Well, I butted in, but I just thought it was interesting whilst it was on the topic of religion.
I'm sort of interested. I don't understand it that much, but I'm interested by it. Where's the most religious place you've been? Because Nepal looked. Although that's mainly Buddhism.
Yeah, where is the most religious place I've been? Oh, actually, so Nepal was fascinating, but even there they have quite a lot of religious diversity. So they have Buddhism and Hinduism, kind of in equal parts. And I felt there was a lot of crossovers. Like even some shrines were both and stuff. So I found that interesting. I actually find Buddhism quite an attractive. It doesn't even categorize itself as a religion, I don't believe.
It's more of an ideology, I believe.
Yeah, it's an ideology, and it's peaceful, and it's like non-judgmental. Yeah. And I, from the outside of all of these, it seems quite nice. Not that I'm going to, go sign up, whatever you have to do. I don't know how much it costs to sign up, but I'm sure there is a cost incurred. The one that had the biggest impact on me. The most shocking one was actually Morocco and the Sahara Desert. It's the first completely Muslim country that I'd been to.
And that wasn't too long ago.
No, it wasn't too long ago at all, and that was fascinating. And I don't know if you've ever been to a Muslim country, but they have prayer chants on speakers at all different times of the day. One of them is like 5 a.m, like the Allahu Akbar, top volume at 5 a.m. People shouting from the rooftops. It's insane.
Wow.
And just like, I just find it super interesting. Like,
no lay-ins in Muslim countries.
No, dude, no. I always wonder if they set an alarm before, so they get like. I like the idea of the contrast. They're like, like the alarm tone.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 and then Allah.
Make a remix out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I found that really interesting, and it was really like it wasn't like they were like, some people are like Christians, some people are like this. The places that we went were out there, and they were proper just Muslim.
Right.
And all of the ladies there, you don't see all you see of them is just they all have like full coverage. Some of them have their faces completely covered.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane. Really like.
But lovely people.
Crazy. Yeah, lovely people. I mean, I didn't really come into contact with it much, and I'd never judge because of a religion. I mean, certainly when you look into it, there's some real oppressive elements to a lot of these religions that I don't agree with at all. But again, to each their own. I don't judge if that's what gets you through the day. I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's quite hard to even talk about it without sounding really bad. But
yeah, it is.
It's good. What I do think it is good to do is to look into these things before you pass judgment. Because certainly there's things that I completely, wholly don't agree with in really all religions. I'm not saying that the Muslim faith has any more of them than the Christian faith. So, yeah. But it made me think actually, like it's super multicultural where I'm from and where you're from, I imagine. Like,
yeah, totally.
You see people from all walks of life and all different. Yeah,
totally. And there's no fighting over it either, which is quite nice for the most part.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, do you think like if I look at the English flag, it just looks racist? The English flag, you know what I mean? Yeah. It just looks like England, but actually we live in a world that's really quite far down the road. It's good. It's good.
So true. Looks racist. Yeah. It does, doesn't it? There is something a bit EDL, isn't there, about flying a flag outside your house?
Big time. It looks like hooliganism and bulldogs.
It seems like it's not the same in America for some reason, because they can be patriotic without it coming across as too racist. Whereas here, true, actually, you can't be patriotic and not look racist.
Totally. I guess their flag is meant to represent freedom.
Yeah.
I
guess.
Yeah. So, and whereas ours, I don't know what ours is meant to represent, like save the Queen.
Something.
Don't come on our island. That's what it feels like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know. So we've gone on a bit of a tangent there, but I find religion super interesting. And this show, I'm early in the episodes. I think I'm 3 episodes in, but this girl has basically left her previous life, and she's starting again, and she's lived completely sheltered life, just led by her religion, and now she's moved from New York. So New York sounds like, I mean, what's crazy is you can be in a place like New York that's super diverse and everything's going on, and you can be completely you can only see one side of something.
Yeah.
So true. she's a Hasidic Jew, and she only mixes with Hasidic Jews, and she doesn't. She's not going to Madison Square Garden watching Knicks games. She's not knocking about in Brooklyn at charity shops. She's literally just doing that. She's praying, going back to her house, making dinner, whatever. I think it's well interesting seeing how people live their lives.
I might check that one out.
Yeah,
I will check that one out.
Don't feel forced. It's but it's good. Yeah. I think it's good anyway, and that's what the list of 3 is all about, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is.
What's your second?
I think I did it. Yeah, Story of God. Number 2.
Story of God.
Space Jam.
What's number 3?
Story of God. I just put music just because it sounds silly, man. But how nice is it just to be like have a bit of time, a little bit more time to actually sit and listen to some old albums.
2 right. Let's do this live on air. What's your latest track that you? Oh, do you have Apple Music?
No, I don't have Apple Music.
I don't. I buy all of it. For some reason, I feel like I'm
everything.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
your
yeah.
latest one you've like added to your playlist?
I discovered Marlowe.
Marlowe, what's that?
Marlowe, what is that? It's a great question. Marlowe's a hip hop artist, and it's only from
Yeah.
2018. I feel like you'd really like this actually. Based
Cool.
from Seattle.
Yeah.
So he's a Seattle-based hip hop producer, and it's just nice, dude. It's just like it feels kind of old school. It's kind of funky. There's a track called Lost Arts, which I actually saw. Well, I was watching a surf film on Red Bull TV last weekend, something, and then this song came on. I was like, "That's fucking cool!" So I hunted it out, and I was like, "Marlowe, sick." Marlowe. So I've been listening to some Marlowe, and just having the time to be able to just discover a bit of new music, dude. You know, I love music. I'm like, probably quite similar to you. I love listening to music. So just trying to go on a bit of a musical journey a little bit more,
Good man. Yeah, I think that's good. I've still got old iTunes mentality where I buy everything.
Really?
So it feels like a bit of it still feels like a little bit of an investment. Like
so that album, for example, you'd buy it to listen to it. Marlowe album.
I'll probably listen to it first, get the 2 bangers from it, and then pay 99p each for those.
Got you. Okay.
I don't know why. I don't know whether that'll go away at some point. It just makes me value the music I've got in my library a little bit more. Otherwise, I just add everything and then I'd have loads of crap.
Yeah.
Whereas I quite like having all killer, no filler.
Yeah.
On my phone. I don't know. So my latest track is an HBO series theme track. Right. It is my jam at the minute. It's like a minute long. It's called Succession.
Okay.
So I've never even watched this series, but the
I found it.
The intro music is so sick, dude.
Really?
And I listen to that back to back. I've got a real habit of just like, yeah, dude.
All right. Succession, season 1. And
it's like instrumental hip hop basically. But
nice.
But then I just nail stuff over and over again until I hate it. Really.
Yeah, it's weird how that you added something to playlist and you're like, oh, I'll always love this track, and then a month later and you're like, fuck, I hate this.
Yeah,
I've overdone it.
Do you know, I'm the totally. I'm the worst for radio, man. I don't like music being forced on me. I don't like radio. To me is so tough. I feel like claustrophobic. I want to get out of there. If someone's playing like some music that I don't like, I just feel I hate it. I'm really affected by it. Like.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I listened to the radio. If I'm in the van, it's Spotify or podcast. If I'm at home, just never have a radio in the house.
Radio's tough, dude. You listen to the popular music, and I listen to the people like playing the music, and I think, you don't like this music. What are you doing? It's like you're a fucking 23-year-old dude singing about your feelings. There is no way there's no way that you sit at home listening to other 23-year-old dudes singing about their feelings.
I agree, totally.
It's not how it is, man.
No,
it's not how it is.
It's not. And I don't like that they put news in as well at whatever o'clock it is every hour.
And then the radio DJs are so wacky and so vanilla. Like, I never say anything that means anything, but I just fill the time. I don't know. It's not for me.
It's not like us.
Yeah, exactly. I liked it, actually. When I was in Morocco, I liked the radio.
Really?
Yeah, radio was sick. We did so much driving because we had to drive like across the Atlas Mountains to the Sahara Desert, and we didn't hook up our phone to it. We just listened to Moroccan music the whole time, and it was rad.
There's something nice about not knowing the lyrics though, and just being able to go along with it.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at
that. I couldn't check the tone. I couldn't see where it's like Cardi B.
No.
Of Morocco. I couldn't see where it was like bloody.
Just go with
I don't know who. Yeah. You couldn't
Speaking
hear
of music,
the Drake.
boy, what's his name's out of prison, isn't he? Have you seen Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Is he?
Yeah, he's out of prison. He's a different sort of level of fuck up. That guy.
Is he? I thought it was a chick.
No.
I was kind of attracted to him.
Really?
You're saying it's a bloke?
It's a bloke, mate. Yeah.
Oh man, I retract my statement. I thought he was quite hot.
But crazy sort of dude, isn't he?
Yeah.
Just, what's going on, man, with that guy? There's so many levels to his story of he basically threw all of the bloods under the bus. I think dobbed loads of people in, went to prison, then he's come out and said he doesn't want witness protection, and he's got purple hair and tattoos all over his face.
Yeah.
What's going on? Anyway, he's got a new song out, which I haven't listened to, but apparently it's actually all right.
Is it? Yeah, I've never listened to her music. His music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's put something out. I might check it out one day.
I assumed that he's got enough. He's trying to make you look at him enough that maybe the music might be subpar, but I don't know. Maybe that's a bad thing to say.
Yeah, from the outside looking in, you'd assume that's what's going on, isn't it?
Yeah, he's making up for shit music with purple hair dye.
Small dick, so dye my hair rainbow colours and tie in my face and make up for it.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? So
funny.
I've got as my third. First of all, I wrote I've run out. Then I wrote a load of things that I previously mentioned, like Last Dance, and then I wrote Drive to Survive, which I also mentioned, the Formula 1 one.
Yes,
I did mention that, and I got completely like that one. There's enough to watch loads and loads of them, but I've watched the whole 2 series just back to back, like proper like binge watched them. I was just completely like stuck in it, and like I said before, I've never been into F1.
No, but now really, you're chomping for it.
Oh man, I wish there was another series. It's the bollocks, dude. Yeah. And those guys are so cool. They are. They're like fighter pilots. It's like a different thing. It's completely.
Yeah, and they're making bank.
Yeah,
they're making money. That young kid, when he buys that apartment, really interested. Yeah. He's like bought his first home, and it's like, oh yeah, it's just in Monaco.
Overlooked Monaco.
Yeah, so sick.
Oh, ridiculous. No, I've really enjoyed that. I also put down for number 3 because I've really not got a number 3 because I've run out because this has gone on quite simply much too long.
Yeah.
George has made sourdough.
Ooh.
I thought this was an interesting topic. Do you know much about sourdough?
I know it's a hard process. You've got to have a starter.
Oh my goodness, you knew way more than me, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a hard process, and then you can keep that starter and keep making sourdough from the same starter as long as you keep feeding it. It's a bit like kefir or something.
How creepy is that? You're feeding this creepy jar of fermenting, I don't know what.
Yeah, it's not fermenting dough, is it? It's just what is it?
I don't even know. I think sourdough is quite ancient. I think it's actually like a technique used to make the bread rise before they realised like yeast worked. So it's almost I don't know, but I think that's how
lovely bread if you do it right, isn't it?
Yeah, really nice. Yeah, George has killed it, and we've got this creepy jar of living organism in our fridge now that we can keep taking.
Feeling bloated all the time now, eating bread with every meal.
Exactly. How often are you going to shops, by the way?
Once a week, if I can.
Oh, you good man. That's good going. Yeah.
Yeah, once a week. Yeah, yesterday did the big shop.
Did you? Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, we've cut it down to barely anything, and she's so good at making stuff. It just highlights how bad I am. I'm just so deeply uninterested by like cooking and making stuff. We talked about it before, didn't we? But like, man, I suck.
Really, I think this is a good time as well to start doing that stuff, because I feel like a lot of people will be craving being cooked for and having a restaurant quality food. So why not just dial it back and try and make it at home and create your own little date? You know, everyone out there has got, if you've got a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever you've got, have a little date in the house, get dressed up, make some nice food.
It's a lovely tip, dude. That could be your number 3.
That's number 4. It's a bonus.
That could be your number 4 and 5, to be honest.
Bonus. You know, make some nice food, spend a bit of time, make it good.
Yeah.
And sit and enjoy it with no phones and bullshit.
Put on some music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just can't. Yeah, I agree. But also,
what's the best thing you can cook? What's your...
Hey, I don't know. I like making breakfast.
Right.
Like cereal. No, like cooking eggs and nice mushrooms and stuff and avocado. But it doesn't even involve cooking, so I can't really... I think I appreciate nice food, but I just don't like making it. It's just the time, man. It just takes so long.
Normally, you know, if
normally, if I'm honest, if I could, I'd eat out every single night of the week. Like Clay eats out the whole time.
Really?
You know? I think I would.
Have you got a pub
opposite
you as well? Am I right in thinking you go up the hill and there's a pub on the right?
There is, yeah, you're right. Yeah, they don't serve the best food, if I'm honest.
Right.
I just eat like burritos, and I like Mexican and sushi. I like stuff that's just like quick and really nice. I don't know. I like nice food, but I just can't be fucked to make it.
You should go down the taco route like me. I just love making tacos, man. I just get obsessed with tacos.
That's good.
Obsessed. There's a good Netflix show called Taco Chronicles too. Number 5.
Number 5. Wow, we're killing it today.
Yeah, there's a good Netflix show called Taco Chronicles, which I love. So good.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, I actually had another one. What I was going to use it as was and then you ruined it. Yeah. Completely. But I was going to use it as a seamless transition. But it was actually listening to Moving the Needle.
Nice.
Which is our guest today's podcast that's just come out, and he's got 2 episodes, one with Brendan Fairclough and one with Cam Zink.
Yes, he has indeed. Indeed. On that note, let me just message him and see what he's up to, see if he's ready.
Yes.
But yeah, he's good as well. He's done a really, really good job, man, and no doubt we're going to talk about this, but it's cool because, he only just recently broke his podcast virginity, and he's straight in there with his own show. And he's got some of the world's best athletes on it, and he's having good conversations. So,
mate, and all of these people shout out to you, don't they? You've got them on board.
Yeah. Well, some definitely. Yeah, Needles for sure,
good, man.
Which is really nice.
It's wicked.
It's cool. It's cool to be helping people get this thing set up.
Yeah, fucking right. Good for you, dude. So, well, good.
Win's coming out soon, which is really, really good.
Oh, I look forward to that. Yeah.
Win or lose, it's called.
Solid.
It's dropping in. It's coming in hot. I don't know. I think he launches it this week, maybe. This will be Wednesday when it goes out, so hopefully it'll be out this week. Nice, I don't know where the rap song is, but that's a long story. Right, should we drag Needles in? We can do the competition thing with Needles as well, can't we? We can...
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Let's do it.
How'd the Jono episode go down anyway? I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Oh, mate. Really well, actually. That was a good one, wasn't it? It was an absolute blast.
It was good laugh. Flew by.
I can't believe it's been 9 episodes. I'm still blown away. Like, when you think all the way back to episode 1 and 2 of having like Spikeball Chris on, fuck, it feels like a long time ago.
Spikeball Chris!
Yes!
Alright.
There he is.
Up.
How are you boys doing?
Yeah,
good, my boy.
We're good.
That. He's got the pro headphones on.
We were just saying how you're a podcast pro now, so...
well, maybe not with all the technical paraphernalia. I don't exactly have a mic yet because of lockdown.
You not got Amazon?
No, dude, this is South Africa.
Really, yeah. So actually, that's a good way to start, isn't it? What's it like at the minute? I know you've already covered it on your episode.
What lockdown?
Yeah, what's happening with it?
We were losing faith in humanity and the government day by day.
Really?
To be honest, so it started as a 3-week lockdown, and when we spoke last, I think everyone can handle a set time, a set date, a novelty, and I'm going to help humanity, and we can all do this together. And then that got extended to 5 weeks, hard lockdown, and we weren't even meant to exercise and all that. And then they tried to say they were going to stage it out. But the lack of communication and how they contradict themselves and don't use logic, is they've lost faith from a lot of the nationalities. So now we're going on, I think Friday must be 7 weeks, and they've called the last 2 weeks level 4. But basically level 4 is just like level 5, but you can exercise from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. But it's winter, so you can imagine everyone goes out from 8 to 9, and it literally looks like a circus out there, and obviously infections are probably running wild. So, I mean...
Wow.
Yeah, the logic's not there, and then they're just throttling down on e-commerce and businesses that could 100% be very safe with all the strict guidelines and open up the economy. So they're going to lose far more people, and our economy was already struggling, and now we're basically going to fight a huge economy setback for probably years to come. So everyone's lobbying and trying to say, we need to get out of lockdown.
What's your furlough situation, or like what's the government initiative for like people getting paid or just not becoming unemployed?
What's their plan?
Is there nothing?
No, there is a plan. Obviously, they claim and there's handouts and stuff, but it's not enough to go around. We already had a high unemployment rate, and after this, it's just going to be astronomical.
I watched an interesting short documentary thing on that Vox channel that I always bang on about, but it was about America's unemployment rate, because they've really not covered it well, and they use England as an example of somewhere that's doing really well, like the furlough scheme, or like however people get paid has been really good for us and really bad for them. They're like, theirs sucks, and it's just like a 5-minute YouTube video, but it covers it loads. It made me feel very lucky to be in a country that's like... Yeah.
No, I mean, there are people looting food trucks, and to me, that's just desperation. It's not crime. It's not opportunistic. It's just they're desperate to eat. You're locking people down that live hand to mouth, not because they spend their money ridiculously. That's how they live. They're laborers. They're brickies. They're domestic workers. They live hand to mouth, and now you're throttling them back. Understand a 3-week lockdown, we can maybe all manage, or a small business can manage. And now we're just going, okay, we're not saying treat money over lives, but let's find the middle ground. Let's use I look at it like this. Every day there's new information and new statistics that potentially are more accurate than what was hypothetical when this virus started. And now no one's going, okay, yes, the death rate is maybe not as what we envisioned. Okay, the hospitals are ready, so now let's open the economy and all that and create sort of herd immunity. I mean, there's many ways to do it, and I'm not saying they're wrong. We're just hoping, dude, we're in dire straits here. Like, the economy and the knock-on effects is going to be way worse than the virus. Yeah.
It sucks, man, because I think what they're acting kind of like with science. So the problem with the virus is that it's like the way it goes on a graph is like fucking straight up, dude.
Yeah.
So actually, like, always we think we're making progress and stuff, but we're so close to it going straight up, and everything that they were scared of at the very beginning could just be around the corner, dude. You know?
Oh, 100%.
It could be 3 days, and you can be like 3 days on the bottom axis is like that much of this steep thing. It can be like...
Exactly. That's what it does. Like, we were told in lockdown, it's like we're locking down to get the medical system and the hospitals sorted. We're getting supplies. That's why we're locking down. We know there's going to be a spike. You can't get away from there being a spike, or it's spreading. So you want to hopefully get the ill out of the way, get the hospitals ready. So that's what we all believed in, right? And then the craziness is, no, well, we're going to go down to level 4, or some countries are doing this levels or whatever. Oh, but we're not going to go down to level 3 if the numbers spike. Well, of course they're going to spike. Even if you almost locked everyone away, eventually there's going to be a spread, and then it does the spike. It's what it's designed to do. So the irony of like the reasoning is just beyond me at this moment. But anyway, I think it sucks. We just talk about it with every conversation.
I know.
It's tough. It's so hard to avoid it. I mean, we've done a pretty good job on this thing, but every now and again it does come up.
Hell yeah, you have. It's been good listening in, and you guys have been doing a great job.
Well, we talk about a lot of nothing, huh?
Yeah, we do. Especially on this one. Jesus Christ.
I mean, to be honest, someone phoned me the other day, and we were cooking dinner, so the missus was like, we're on speaker, and then she kind of looked at the phone, and I think 18 minutes had gone by, and we're all talking, and then she was like, you guys just talked a load of bollocks about alcohol and how much you have like, you just spoke shit for 10 minutes. And I was like, yeah, what do you mean? And then I was like, we hadn't even got into golf, biking, like, we hadn't even, like, we could have said an hour talking a bunch of shit, couldn't we?
Yeah. Oh, it's mad, isn't it? It's a tough one to miss, though, dude. It's a tough one to miss at the minute, isn't it? It's kind of, fairly on everyone's mind, I reckon.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. So, to summarize, we're still struggling in this hard lockdown, which is, I mean, we're about to catch up to Spain and Italy, and I'm not being insensitive to the lives. I think, if you're worried about your health, stay at home. If you're elderly, and we are also worried about that, let's try keep them at home. Let's act safely in accordance to health guidelines to stop spread or minimize it. And you're going to lose way more lives to unemployment, suicide, the backlash of the economy. You're just going to we're basically just going to kill our middle class.
How does it work in the how does it work in the townships? Because obviously areas of like higher poverty, like everyone lives on top of each other, don't they? So it must be even more of a risk, really.
Yeah, the challenge is that, I mean, that they're hand to mouth. They're in those areas, there are a lot more people per square meter in a household. So it's very challenging to stay locked down, number one. Number two, everyone's in close proximity, so it can spread more. So also what I will say is South Africa is a unique place to be forced into a lockdown. We have a unique set of issues with things like, townships and areas like that, and extreme poverty, as well as an unemployment line, the economy struggling. Plus you've got businesses and small businesses that are trying to drive the economy. Like a lot of the tax bill comes from those businesses. A lot of the VAT that those businesses make would hand over to the government to spend on all sorts of things like unemployment. So we have a very challenging situation to try get through. So I would never say, you made the wrong decision, but I'm saying now I would think you should use. It sucks. You're like, hey, you're wrong. So to admit you're wrong now on a national level, or as a president, that's not going to happen. And he's got the most horrible job, but he almost needs courage now to say, there's new data. We're gonna go off what we've learned from other countries. Our basically like they predict from other countries graphs and statistics, don't they? And now those are ever changing. So it's like, okay, well, we've re-looked at those. You would hope, but now I'm speaking hopefully logically to you guys, and I don't think that happens, or there's a lot of red tape to have that come down to the general public.
That's crazy.
Didn't you guys have a have you had a new set of guidelines or some update to your lockdown?
We did, yeah. We tried to cover them earlier on in the show.
Yeah, I compared them to being about as clear as a 17-year-old's STI test, which it's I mean, he didn't really say much. It's very vague. It's just basically stay aware, be smart and stay aware. We've not changed anything from what I understand. Nothing's opening, nothing's closing. It's very much the same. You're allowed to. I hate that term. You're allowed. I hate that. But you're allowed to go out and meet with a friend as long as you stay 2 meters apart. You're allowed to go and drive to get some exercise.
I think you're now allowed to ride, which does affect us. So as long as it's only like 2 households involved, so like 2 people. I think you're allowed to ride 2 meters apart, which actually is like I'm trying to not get too excited, but that is like massive for me.
It's huge.
Riding every day on my own is not the same as riding with one other person.
But what stops you doing it? I think we might have spoke about this before. Is it just the fact that you think someone might say something? Or, I mean, I remember a few weeks ago you bumped into Sam in the woods.
Yeah.
What's to stop you going for a ride together 2 meters apart?
Well, I think now,
other than doing the right thing.
What he said on, I think it's Wednesday we're allowed to, when these new guidelines come in. I think now we're allowed to. I think what I struggle with is the idea that you're like, every time you do anything, I've never thought about it like this, but anytime you do anything, you give off a message. So let's say I go out with all of my buddies on a bike ride and I pass 5 people. The way that even the virus works is the same way that like people's perception of the virus works. So they're going to see a group of 5 people going out and they're going to be like, right, I'm getting on the phone.
True. Do you think it's almost harder for you as a known athlete too?
I reckon you got a definitely. I don't know. I feel
you've got a
responsibility.
100%. You're gonna get associated with things and stigma. Like people said to me, you help run the trails. Why don't you go marshal? Like I could honestly use that liberty and say, well, I'm marshalling, checking that other people aren't on the guy's property. But then if I'm caught up there, no one's going to stop to find the full story. They're going to go, oh, Andrew, that's associated with the trails and the bike shop. He's out road riding. So it's a nuisance that you will get associated, Ollie. I think you will. There will be people that want to slander you or say, oh, well, you're not a good citizen. You're not abiding by the rules. Yeah.
And anyway, and just I actually hold the highest importance is just for me to be sucker free, to be like, I know I did the right thing. I know I made an effort, you know. Like, I actually feel that. I don't think I would have done when I was younger. I would have been out doing backflips and stuff. But I actually, now, I actually think, like, I want to be able to end all this shite knowing that I acted responsibly, that sounds so boring, but for some reason that's, Well,
in the beginning, it was like that. It was like, hey, you know, like, let's do the 3-week lockdown. Let's do the 5-1. Let's help curb the spread so that we can get out of this quicker. And I heard Deke spoke about it as well, and I totally agree. And then you get to the point that they're not giving you information. They're not communicating. Some of their shit's not logic. And you can see human nature's like, okay, we'll try. You're losing our trust. Okay, now I think my right is to see my mom or my family if I'm safe and I'm going to take the risk. Like, when do you get treated not like a child? And then it gets to the point that you go, okay, but hang on, now I'm going to go into debt with my business. Okay, but now it seems like you're trying to stop me from putting food on my table, and I can do it in a safe manner to your health guidelines. I can go and have a business and be as safe as I am now, riding in the woods 2 meters away. I can have a contactless business. I can have e-commerce. Now you're throttling that down. Then it's like your human rights start playing up against the government.
Yeah, dude.
And now you're going to get into this whole moral catch-22, I think, is starting now. Everyone's like, hey, you're a rebel. No. That's my human right, and I can do it in a safe manner. When do you get to choose what's safe and not to endanger other people? I'm not saying, you know, you should be able to allow to endanger other people
But with common sense, there's a bit of leniency, I feel like.
Even the stats, the death rate, the hospitals are getting money for recording COVID cases because they don't have enough money from normal procedures that are coming in. So Olly crashes or gets bitten by a shark, rushed to hospital. Hey, we found a bit of COVID in him. That's a COVID problem, you know? Or some guy has a death. It's like, oh, but there were symptoms that were COVID, so we'll just tick the COVID box. The horrible truth is you follow the money in this and in anything, and then you see where the problem is.
Shit show, Interestingly, say that about like your what is it? Liberties being taken away, your freedom being taken away. My brother, he's done. I don't want to throw him under the bus here, but he's done 8 weeks without seeing his girlfriend. Right. So the other day he drove to meet up with her at a distance just to hang out and not be on some stupid like Zoom thing. So when he was driving home, so he's been taking it really seriously. When he was driving home, the police pulled him over, and he was like, "Fuck, I can lie here. I can say I went to the supermarket, but I'm gonna say what I actually was doing, just almost like testing it." You know?
Okay. Yeah.
He told him that he went to see his girlfriend because it's been the first time in 8 weeks, and they gave him a fine.
No.
And as soon as he got the fine, he said, "Fuck, something like a switch almost like changed." You know, I can't remember his exact words, but it makes it more real, doesn't it? It makes it more like we've all seen people hanging out with people.
How much is it, the fine, out of interest?
30 quid.
Wow.
30 quid, yeah. Roadside fine. Doesn't go on, you know, there's no like record of it or anything like that. It's just a handout ticket.
30 quid.
I mean, how weird is that, dude?
No, but think about that. I mean, he's trying to be honest. He's going, I'm safe. I did it at the grocery store, but he's trying to be honest, and he gets slapped with a fine. Then he doesn't trust the system.
Yeah.
Dude, you can use that time and find people that are actually doing bad things.
Yeah.
And we have that. There's so much shit going on here with examples of people and all that. But I don't even want to get into that. That you can just sit here for days with all that. It's just not logic.
No. Yeah, that's it. You just got to look after yourself. You just got to make sure that you're behaving how you want to look back and think that's how I behave.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so surreal. I mean,
being at peace with yourself, I think, is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, instead of talking about this fucking pandemic,
let's mine about it.
Let's talk about moving the needle.
Yes.
The hottest podcast on the web, other than the Lockdown Companion.
So the close second.
The Lockdown Companion's been awesome. I like it.
Yeah, we're doing
So
it's
moving the needle bin. It's been wicked, dude.
Dude, how's your podcasting going? Come on, tell me. It's funny, this. And no, it's not funny. I'm totally sorry. I didn't mean funny.
No, we should.
I mean, it's interesting that we popped a podcast virginity, and then you've launched a podcast. You've had 2 amazing guests. What's the journey been like, man? What's going on?
Dude, it's just been all the emotions.
All the emotions.
And I have to thank you.
I've witnessed
David,
some of them, I'll be honest. I've witnessed a couple.
So I've done everything from rookie areas to excited to launch it. But the full story, if there's listeners that give a shit, which I'm still surprised about. So we did the one with Davey, and I've always loved podcasting. And 10 years ago, I spoke to the Parkin brothers that filmed for Trek World Racing. I said, I've got to do a podcast. I've got to start one, I love these things. And he said, all right. And he sent me an email. And the subject was line, the mic you will never buy. And I went and found the email. Obviously, I'm not going to buy the same mic because technology's, I would hope, changed. Maybe it hasn't, that there's a decent mic. So it came to me that long ago, and then you just focus on racing, and that's always what I did, just focus on what I should be doing. And then Davey said, well, why don't you do one? And I was saying, if enough people have told me, oh, you'd be good at it, or why don't you try it? And then the lockdown. So I have to thank the lockdown. As crazy as we're bitching about it, I have to thank the lockdown for forcing me to sit still, to think outside the box, to reinvent myself, and to add value to, hopefully, the bike industry. Amazing. And I think there are a lot of podcasts starting up, but it's not as, say, saturated as Instagram or something that everyone's doing. So I left there. I started researching. I sent you an email. You sent me like a good kind of do this, then this. These are the steps. And I was luckily just energized with lockdown. Had all this energy. So I just started. I tested with my mom, got the audio. Then I said to Brent, I knew that if I messed it up with Brendan, I could probably get him on again, and he wouldn't just laugh at me. We're mates. Yeah. And he was a good guest. I got it recorded. Got quite a few people recorded already, and then I decided to launch with those two. And I was just making notes now. I want to do Danny in the next day or two. We got Eddie, who was on here. I got Nino Schroeter as well. So I was lucky enough to lean on some good names already. And I'm just learning. I want to know from you guys what you think we should do. I mean, I like to add value, but I think being real and have more loose conversations, and the more I do them, the more I'm doing. I have a lot of notes, but the less I want to lean on those notes. So to answer your question, it's called Moving the Needle. Olly, I lent on him for the logo, and funny story, I did come up with the name, and I'm super crap with being creative, super crap with names. My brother did the bike shop name. Olly helped with the logo. If I think anything's half cool, I send it past Olly, and if he gives me the go-ahead, I'm like, okay, we're on the right. So he liked the name, you liked the name. Dude, I launch, and then, with the bike shop, I was like, you got to do the Insta handle, you got to do the website, you got to make sure no one has these names. I was just like, I'm stuck on this name. Dude, I launch, and I'm like searching. Tons of Moving the Needle podcasts. It's literally a Moving the Needle podcast. There's like a Moving the Needle with. Anyway, so just if you're listening, search my name as well.
I think yours came up, dude. When I searched for it, it came up like the number one Moving the Needle podcast.
Oh, there you go. Awesome.
There it is.
Straight in.
But Davey will know this. So, I was excited and dude, I was so excited. I started editing before Dave was going to kind of give me the order and the how-to, and I'm Googling, and I'm like, dude, I haven't been this excited about something in such a long time, which was amazing. I'm excited about commentary, and now I've done it for 4 years, and I want to level up, and I want to do bigger races, and riding is awesome, but I've done it for 20 years. So I was excited. So I started editing, and then I phoned Dave. And I say, how do I change this or what? He's like, oh, you need to change that. And as soon as I change the setting, basically you lose all the work. It's called automation. All the work you've done on the audio levels, gone.
Yeah, gone.
2
Whole
days
thing.
I spent. 2 days. Brendan the Toss had a cold, and he kept sniffing. If I said I did 200 edits to get his sniff out so that he sounded better, that's an understatement. So I did the full rookie, just lost 2 days of work, and I was like, I wasn't even that bummed. I was like, oh, that's the cost of learning something new, Olly. Like, it's that like relearning something and that work you've got to do for it to pay off, and to finish something was cool. I'm not a creative person, so to come up with the intro and You helped me with the logo, and to put it all together and finally launch I was proud of it. I was happy with it. I'm happy that I did it, and I think I'll learn something for the future, whether I get 5 listeners or 20,000 or whatever it may be. But now I'm in that stage of like, phew, I've got to like contact some more guests, and I've got to prepare the notes and like edit it for 5 hours. And I'm thinking, shit, is this sustainable? You go through those lulls of motivation.
It's a lot of work, eh?
And I think...
So is it? I'm completely clueless to this. You boys are so you edit the audio for these things?
Yeah, it takes... Well, you can do what you want. You can go raw, or it depends what show you want to do. But people
I bet Davey goes raw dog, dude.
Raw, bro.
Raw dog.
Raw dog.
Raw dog, dude.
You know it.
Chicken finger. There's no way he bothers editing.
You read those iTunes reviews. Raw.
I think the barrier to entry on podcasting is I can't. Mine's not even on Google Podcasts yet. I've done all this and I've tried, and people, it's not just like edit and submit, and just put it on YouTube. Not to say YouTube's easy, doing good content, editing it, that takes time. But once you've got the file, so now I'm going through that like motivation phase. Is it sustainable? Fear of failing? Are people going to want to listen to it? Is it worth it? So
you're such a thinker, you are, Needles.
Yeah, don't think about it, man. Just keep running with it. It's funny because we were talking about a similar thing at the start of the show about like how sometimes negative, comments and stuff can really bum you out a little bit. But honestly, dude, just stick with it. I think what's going to be interesting with all these new shows and stuff popping up is how they carry on. If they carry on, as soon as lockdown comes out, everyone will be like, "Oh, I'm going riding. Fuck the podcast." Like I don't need to do that.
That's a good one. So no, I'm going to stick to. I've got an exciting bench racing one with Sven Martin coming out. I'll probably go Danny and then that one, and that's more fun like this. We're interacting. We're going opinions, and amazing. Depending on the guest, I'm going to open it up to more conversation. And if it goes on tangent, it goes on down a tangent. So
I think
I will carry on.
Yours will get better with more travel. That's what I personally think. I think someone needs to do that now where they're on the road a bit more, whether it's World Cups or whether it's Crankworks, and just get those insights from people, real time, sat around a coffee table. That's what I'm ready for now. If there's a relevant topic, I want to jump on a call, quickly throw it up, maybe raw dog it. Yeah. Just straight in, raw dog, no lube. Raw dog. And then... just pop it up there on the interwebs. But like a day or two later, like, oh, X happened. Boom. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So, exactly. Olly got his jet ski.
Hey, how is it?
Even if it's a 10-minute conversation, it's relevant. It's
I'm glad you jumped on it, man. I'm stoked you did it. It's funny, Ollie, because I was looking the other day for a photo you'd sent me, and I found that, the Mike Rides logo?
Yeah.
You sent me that a year, almost exactly to the day, when you launched the first one.
No way.
Yeah, how weird's that?
That's how slack I am.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's that fear of failing. No, I think. So you had that idea a year ago or more?
Oh, more, I think, yeah.
Yeah, you sent it me a year ago, almost to the day, when you launched the first one.
There you go. It is crazy, isn't it? It is crazy.
Yeah.
I think all of those things, if you actually like the cool thing is, if you enjoy it, you'll just keep doing it, and it doesn't even matter. Like, I really admire that about you, Davey. You just fucking bang them out because you like doing them. I asked Davey about stats, right? That's how boring I am. I go to him, how did this one do? How did this episode do? And the dude doesn't even know. He doesn't care.
But that's good. It's sustainable, and that's what someone said. Like,
exactly,
in a year, if you come back in a year and someone says, okay, how was the Moving the Needle podcast in a year? Are you going to carry on? And if it's not worth it, I have to do something else, I will be happy I did it because I've learned a new skill. It'll help my presenting. So I did think a bit too much about it, but also I got rid of all those stupid things. What's the worst case? It flops? Well, I've learned something. I've met some people. I met Davey, got a relationship there. And I want to grow it to the point that I can get, say, someone from outside the industry, if it's got enough listeners, and say, look, the listener base is decent. I want to educate our listeners, say, especially pro athletes, about finance. None of these guys even some of them do. But if you think about it, maybe a guy that's pretty trendy with finance can help say, hey, this is what I've learned and this is what pro sportsmen can do. Then it's a bit more helping and adding value, or whatever it may be.
Totally. But I think there is a lesson in it, to be honest, which is not getting strung up on listens and how many people are engaging and stuff. I've never really been into that stuff personally. I'm not analytical at all. You know, the proof's in the pudding. Like we were talking about it again at the start. You know, you look at what we just did with Melon Goggles. There's engagement there. For me, there could be 10 listeners. The fact that 10 people shared that thing, that's cool. Good. I'm happy.
Awesome.
You know. So
and
that's it.
There was something. Oh, I've got it. The bit. Well, all these haters. Okay, cool. Someone comes on and says, "Oh, your podcast is shit," or "Your micro is shit," or "Why, you're getting it for free." The audacity to say, "Oh, shit."
Honestly, it's exactly what we were talking about before you came on. Like,
there's so many people like, "Oh, that advice wasn't good," or dude, you're not even paying for it. How can you be pissed off?
Don't listen then. It's fine.
It's not...
totally fine. We'll be fine without you. Move on.
Hey, you say you learnt a new skill, but like, I guess it does. I guess it's super, super different. So if I'm always interested in the commentary work that you do, that Warner does, and like speaking to people. Like, I would find it so hard having words. This is what I understand of it. Words going in your ears, and then you have to speak live and make it like clear, concise sentences.
Yeah, well, so on that side, on that point, it coming in your ear. So the director. So for people at home, they don't know. And when I started watching other sports and I knew it was going, I was like, oh my goodness, like it's been given. So basically, you're in the booth. You have the broadcaster and or sound engineer or video guy. It doesn't matter. There's a few lines that can come in your ear. So you're watching the screen. They want you to watch the screen. And what's that? Did I just make a hand gesture?
No, it's just coming in your ear.
I just keep going back to remember the Chorley FM thing from Phoenix 9? Coming in your ears. Anyway.
Well, that's exactly what happens. Sometimes they're having a laugh in the truck and they... anyway.
You've got to come in your ears.
For the listeners at home, commentary, there's a guy in your ear. He's not coming in your ear, he's speaking into it. But so much shit is happening. Sometimes he's loud, frustrated, wants things. So I'll give you an example. We'll have a conversation and picture someone wants to go to commercial break in 10 seconds, but I've just asked Davey a question and he feels like having a good go at answering this question. He'll then come in Davey's ear verbally.
The high level of maturity going on in this podcast.
Come in and say, "Dave, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up." Now,
which is a lot of the things you say when you're about to come in someone's ear.
Yeah, wrap it up. So he'll say, "Wrap it up," and now you've got to get to the point that he wants me to be quicker than I want to be. But now you've heard "wrap it up," so you're hearing that and you just stop speaking.
So
and then you'll be like, "No, carry on." You'll be like, "Carry on." He goes, "No, wrap it up." You're like, which one do you want? So, there is people directing you on what's coming next. Okay, we're going to ad break in 30 seconds. So there's a lot going on there. Absolutely. And then you've got to watch the screen. Sometimes you're near the finish line, but there's a delay. So there's all sorts of going into it.
And do you have like notes with like all of the topics you talk about? Like each athlete, you say like, "Oh, he did this in 98. This 98. Imagine." You know what I mean?
Well, Greg Menard, close to it. He probably
true.
True. So
have you not done any commentary, Ollie? Ever?
Sorry?
Have you never done any commentary?
No, I think I'm a loose cannon, dude. I think I'd say the wrong thing. I think I'd say swear words and stuff.
Touch wood. I'm going to knock now. Dave, are you going to edit this pod? You don't care, do you?
No.
Okay, I'm touching wood. It's going to be loud.
Cool.
Touch wood. I don't think I've sworn on camera yet. Trying not to. That is one of my big worries. But Ollie, there's big research. So being at the event, my history, racing with them, they've got the rapport. I'll be at I go and stand on course with the finish line a lot, chat to them, try to have casual conversations so that I'm not interviewing that, give me some information. And then I'll also dig as well, say, "Come on, give me something." And I'll say, "I'm not going to give away a secret, but give me something, if they don't want to open up. I'm like, come on, give me something for air. It's going to do us both good." And then I'll have a lot of notes. I'll do race results. I'll do a lot of prep for days, weeks leading up to an event. I have all those notes with me, which is a challenge because say you've got a 3-minute run and there's really actions happening. You sometimes don't use much of it, but you've got to have it there in case. Say there's a course hold, then you've got we call it filling air. Then there's 10 minutes, you've got to talk a bunch of bollocks.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of notes. I do it with my podcast as well. I should have sent Dave a picture. He'll be impressed. I had my wall. So I had the wall in front of my laptop so it doesn't look,
Yeah.
I'm looking down at shit. So there's some talking points I want to come back to, and
Wow.
I go off. So I guess I've taken my annoying athlete preparation to all these other ventures.
It's interesting.
I feel like if you're going to do something, do it as good as you can. And if it flops, it flops. Or if you don't feel like doing it, but at least I can say, okay, I've tried my best,
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Man, I don't think of commentary. Like, if it's not something that you've done, you don't think about it. Speaking to Warner, he seems effortless. It seems like he's just talking smack. He's just there and they're recording him. It seems like the amount of work Warner puts in is mind-blowing. He takes it so serious. Like, I spoke to him loads when we were on that trip in Nepal. We talked about
awesome
commentary and all of that, but he really treats it like an art, and he really researches stuff, and he works mega, mega hard.
Yeah.
Which doesn't come across. He seems like a carefree guy. He doesn't care.
No, you can see it though in his use of words, and he did some writing before. I think he seems good at the writing.
Yeah, he's
I don't know
smart dude. Yeah,
I don't know if he scripts everything, but I've got the utmost respect for Warner. I think he's realized that maybe later in his racing career he didn't take it as seriously. He wasn't having that much fun, and now he's seen a career at. He's getting paid good, I would assume. But you can see he takes it seriously, and he's earned every bit of it. I have a lot of respect for him. Yeah, and I'd love to do some work with him because I think he sometimes doesn't maybe have always the best analyst with him or something, because he's so good. He's so good at being the voice. Like, we call him the host.
Yeah.
He's so good at that. But he's also got a lot of knowledge. He raced. He was successful. He does like the tech side, but you can't do it all. You need to have different roles.
So what are the terms? The terms are the voice or the lead and then the analyst. Is that right?
Yeah, you can call it the analyst. They call him the color commentator. Is sometimes an NBA and all that stuff. Dude, we have to talk NBA later. I think I'm like an NBA fan now. But yeah, Warner's. I think Warner's so good for the sport, and he's become the voice of it. I think there's a lot of scope for him to have sort of more improvement there. It's awesome now.
For sure. Hey, Andrew, speaking of NBA, every episode we've done 3 things that we should, people out there listening should watch or do. What 3 things do you have to recommend for people? Documentaries?
Podcasts? 3 things they must watch?
Yeah, or listen to.
I think if you're any type of sports fan, and we know Olly's a Jordan fan, he's a basketball fan, his brothers play and he played when he was younger, but the Jordan documentary, just to see the work ethic that guy put in and the attitude he had, I mean, he's a class above those guys. It's insane. You got some of the best guys that ever played basketball saying they had a good game and they didn't have anything for it. And the way he turned on his motivation. So, that's at the top of my list. I didn't finish Tiger Kings or whatever that crap was. I didn't finish that. I've kind of just been on the documentary side. I'm getting sucked into Ozark. It's
Ozark.
Oh wow!
Ozark. I never got into that. Is it good though?
Yeah, now it gets good. It's just so much. Then this guy kills this guy, and then this drug lord does this, and once you got it, it's a slow burner. You get into it, the characters, and you're like, how are they going to get out of this one? And of course, something worse happens. And
do you know, a lot of them, you can't help feeling like they're like a formula. Like they want to get you hooked. There'll be 100%. A cliffhanger each episode. Like you feel like you've seen it before, almost from Breaking Bad or from some
EastEnders. Shit.
Yeah,
so
yeah, true.
I haven't got something like Suits. I loved Suits. If you haven't watched Suits, binge watch that.
All right.
I think Suits is incredible.
You writing it on one of those notes again over there?
Dude, I always write notes. I come back to them. Yeah, look, I'm big into lists, you see.
Look at the bloody state of it.
I've got a newfound respect for Jordan, sports. I think the documentary, I thought maybe a few episodes in, you're like, oh, where are they going to go with this? And then they just suck you back in.
It's incredible. Yeah.
I mean, these guys are professionals, and what do? So they know how to write a script. Imagine the research, going through all that NBA footage, doing the interviews, then going, okay, we're going to use his commentary there, but then we need the action shot of that.
Oh, it's so much work.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's going through the archives to find some of that footage as well. And yeah, I'm glad they left it so long to put this thing out, though, because it needed that 20-year gap maybe for people to forget And especially like me, I'm not a basketball fan at all. I didn't know anything about this. You know what I mean? So it's like...
You know the interesting thing about it all? So they had that footage, and I've always been like, why didn't they release it? I don't know if we talked about it before, but
no.
LeBron won a championship, and obviously there's always the comparison between any amazing player that gets compared to MJ.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes up in the press, and MJ's like a super hyper competitor. If you've watched Last Dance, you can see how gnarly he is with competition.
Yeah.
Anyway, on the same day that LeBron won this championship, and people were saying, is he the greatest ever? That day, MJ gave the release on the footage. Like, he's the reason they haven't put it out beforehand.
So he owned it.
He was
holding it back.
His permission, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So on the day that LeBron won this championship, and people obviously reignite is LeBron better than MJ? On that day, he's just like, pick up the phone. I love the thought of him picking up the phone. Like, right, let's put this fire out.
That's so interesting.
Time we drop the Last Dance.
What a baller!
Yeah, man, insane.
That's interesting. Wow.
Dude, and I love my golf. To see him playing golf and betting, and he's like, come on, get out there. Like, he was actually quite rude, and I guess he gets away with it. So he has that side of him, and he was telling Pippen, like, screw that. He's hooting in the bus.
Yeah,
he's got a tea time at 3:30. He didn't give a shit.
He's no joke, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, dude, if you're going to be that good, there's so much ego involved. I don't know if you've heard of the book Ego is the Enemy.
Yeah.
No, really fascinating book. I think Ryan Holiday's the author, and he's doing quite a lot of new school stoicism, that ego stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and you need the ego to get to the top. But if you're not going to keep it in control, it will just bring you down. Lance Armstrong, some of the best presidents. You get this power trip. I'll do anything I want, and then boom, see like the fatal flaw, and fall from grace.
Wow. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know about holding the footage back. It's almost like he had a trump card just in case.
How good. But Olly,
that's so cool.
I mean, dude, that guy, he was smoking cigars before the game. Or in the locker room before the game.
Yeah.
Such a gangster.
So cool.
I heard that they smoke a lot of weed for basketball. Apparently weed gets you in the zone. Been quite chill and, I don't know, precise. Yeah, that's what I heard.
I can't imagine it, but yeah, probably.
What about they were called? So, I don't know. Well, they called it the cocaine tour or something like. They're getting paid a lot of money, private jets. You can imagine hotel rooms on the road. There must have been some shit going down.
There'll be some stories.
And you could hear like MJ stuck to himself in the beginning, and those backstories are cool.
Yeah,
really cool insight, isn't it? Because when I was younger, there was none of that.
No, there wasn't social media and like fake news to get a few. Now they would just jump on any little bullshit rumor, and the gambling thing would be mainstream.
I mean,
news. In America, it was though.
Yeah, in a way, it makes it more impressive today that these superheroes remain superheroes, Kobe and LeBron, because they've lived through periods where everyone's looking at them and everyone can publish everything, everyone can get in touch. Isn't it just horrible?
Oh, shit! No wonder you wanted to retire. You just want to be a normal person. Obviously, you do that for a year, and you're like, okay, I'm bored. I'm bored. Let me go be the best at everything. And dude, what? Okay, so I got a question, Olly.
Yeah.
So now I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, flip. I'd be up for going. Now I think if I was in America, I'd try to go to a basketball game. I think it's going to be an anticlimax. Well, unless they win on the buzzer. Like, is basketball as exciting as this documentary makes it out to be?
Basketball's always exciting for me. Even a low-end game I can really enjoy. But the era that MJ played in was so different to what it is today.
Physical-wise or what?
Just everything. Like, basketball itself is different. Even if you just look at the score, if you look at the scores, the numbers they're putting out now compared to back then, you hear like the term "no blood, no foul." So now people are like flopping. There's all these new little things that have developed in the game. It's so different. Just like in downhill, think how much bikes have moved on in 10 years. Basketball is like, it's the same thing, but it's all within the game. So you see way more like of a Euro style of play.
And the scores are less. They're winning on less scores or more.
More higher numbers nowadays.
So it's more frantic.
Yeah,
really.
And
baskets.
Defense is like less. Like people are flopping. People draw fouls more.
Like football.
Like soccer. Like a football.
Yeah, it was a much more physical game then back then. These are all just my opinions, and I'm a super fan. I'm not an expert, but from the outside, that's what it seems like. You see someone like Luka. Have you seen Luka Doncic play? No. He's like a new superstar, but he's like super Euro. Compare him to like a superstar back in the day. It's a totally different kind of player, you know.
You got a ghost.
We got some door action.
No, that was my. Sorry, I was trying not to make you editing. That is my.
I'm not editing.
My dog. My dog is so smart it can open doors.
Nice.
Swear, he can just.
What type of dog is it? Let's get him in here.
We will get him in here.
Yeah, get him in here.
Doors. Come here, boy. All right, come on.
Whoa!
There he is.
He's a good-looking boy. What's his name?
Name's Kai.
Kai.
So for the listeners at home, he's basically a short-haired border collie. Obviously, I'm going to say he's intelligent because he's my little boy. And my lovely girlfriend rescued him from a township.
Oh.
He was left for dead, and he's got the best temperament. So maybe there's some dog lovers that are listeners.
How's he enjoying the pandemic?
He's loving it because I'm basically home, so he just irritates me the whole day.
Yeah, I think animals are enjoying it, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are.
They're loving it. Okay, enough now. So anyway, yeah, he's loving it. But I gotta when I'm... Luckily, Dave's not editing, but I'm obviously in the beginning stages. I'll edit and try not make noise. So I'll put him outside, and then I'll be doing a voiceover, which I hate. And then he'll knock on the window. I'm like, redo. Anyway.
That's funny.
So have I missed anything that I should have watched? I haven't done a lot of... In the evenings, I'll switch off, but I've just been...
Do you know what the biggest thing that you could have been missing?
I'm listening.
That is, on the Lockdown Companion, we do something called Dope or Nope. And that's one of the...
Oh, I love that. I also want to get something cool in a pod. I think that's good, like something that's in every podcast, you know?
Yeah.
See what I did there? I did some co-hosting there, Davey. Is that all right?
Mate, nailed it. Thanks for doing that. So we thought we'd do some Dope or Notes with you because, and we'll do them all together, obviously, but people keep submitting these things, and we never get around to doing them because we just chat shit with each other and then whoever comes on, which is great. Good, yeah. But it's just sort of we were saying the other day we were going to do another episode, but we were both way too busy during the pandemic to do it, and it was really annoying. And so yeah, we thought we'd do some just to try and give back to the people who keep supporting this thing. So
absolutely.
Should we do a few Dope or Nopes? I think these.
Hey, can you do a few needles? I need to take a piss.
Yeah, of course.
I'm back in 2 seconds.
We're not going with you this time. Thank fucking God. Did you hear the one where he took me with it?
I think that's brilliant. So yeah, Dave, I think force me to carry on my podcast because I do want to get to episodes that are like this, off the cuff, having a conversation, and you've inspired me for that. I think it's good.
Yeah, you definitely get there, man. I think it was really interesting what you were saying before about making notes and stuff, and I don't know if we spoke about this. Anyway, when I first started doing them, there was a lot of guests I was getting which I really didn't know them. So I always use the prime example was Luca Shaw. So Luca Shaw came on the podcast. It was like episode 10. I mean, bear in mind we're in like 100 now. So it's 90 episodes ago, which is crazy. Yeah. And I made all these notes and I was like, I don't really know much about Luca Shaw. And I did all this like research and blah, blah, blah. And this is at a point where I was still trying to find out my vibe and how I like to do these. But I burned through everything on these notes in about 10 minutes. And I was just like, and then I have to just revert back to being just chatting and just having a bit of fun.
Oh, hang on, I need to make a conversation.
Exactly, and that's how it's for me. Yeah, that's the journey I've enjoyed because it is kind of difficult sometimes, and it probably
be a journey.
For you it's a little bit different in some ways because the guests you've had, you know them personally, but there's been ones where I'm literally like, I don't know this person. You're doing it over Skype, which is a bit weird, and it's just you're on the back foot to start off with, and then especially if you want it to be valuable and good, the athlete, whoever it might be, has got to open up to you, but they don't know you that well.
It's trickier. You got to build rapport. So before the Dope or Not, the funniest thing is with Sven, we obviously chatted shit for 20 minutes before we recorded, and I'd done all the catching up, so I launched straight in with like a question. After he's like, dude, you might want to like show people that we know each other, and like it's quite funny when me and you banter. I was like, yeah, I'll do that in the intro. Yeah, I agree. So I just got straight into the business because I knew me and him were going to talk for like 4 hours, and I wanted it to be an hour. Yeah. So I hear you. It's we'll find our legs.
Yeah, definitely. I think it just comes with time. I genuinely think it just comes with time. But already, you're killing it. So. Keep on keeping on.
Ollie, you didn't miss anything, so you're.
I'm back.
Dope or nope. Dope or nope. What we got? These are from last week too. So we got at H Porter 23 boiled eggs. Dope or nope. Can you boil an egg, Ollie?
Yeah, I've got that down, dude.
What's the time?
6 minutes.
What?
Well, no way. Soft boiled normally. Normally I do soft boiled and I do 5 minutes 23. So that's perfect.
Is everything 23 in your life usually?
Yeah, normally. Yeah, you might have noticed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, boiled eggs are dope for me. By the way, just to throw that in there, I love a boiled egg.
I did have one. So lazy for cooking 7 weeks into lockdown. We only just got takeaways about a week ago. So I would say I'll give them a dope because soft boiled little soldier. We call them soldiers. You cut the toast into like things, dip the soldier. Such a cool thing as a kid. It's got to be dope.
Yeah, it's dope, isn't it? Yeah.
Boiled eggs are dope. You heard it here first.
Dope, dude. T-shirt idea. Boiled eggs are dope.
Oh, a little dippy in the top of a boiled egg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice T-shirt, that is. Yeah.
It is a good T-shirt. What else we got? At Jack.Gurin, Home Rampage. Dope or nope? Have you been watching these needles?
I texted him. I said, "My shit, I hope you come out of lockdown soon. You're gonna run out of ideas. What are you gonna do?" It's a problem with vlogging. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
dude, isn't it? Yeah.
I will say dope because he's pushing himself to do something. I'm glad. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
It's keeping Brent sane, dude. It's got to be dope. It's the only thing keeping him sane. Yeah.
And you know what? The kids at home love it. That guy could go down to the woods and have a poo and get like so many views. So at least he's pushing himself. I think it's
that's a good idea. You should submit that idea. It's not bad. Home Rampage. Diarrhea in the woods.
No, I'll say dope. No, I got way too much respect for Brent. So I mean, nice to tease him, but dope.
Yeah, dope. All right. What else? At Rolo_Charlie, water bottle cages. Dope or nope?
Obviously dope, no?
Oh, Bren would say not. It looks terrible. I'm like, well, I don't want to dehydrate. It's just a water bottle cage. Like, I guess I've got older that I'm not like, don't have to be that cool. I don't have to pretend to be cool all the time.
Exactly.
I'm honestly on the fence with a water bottle cage.
On my bike, and I use it all the time.
Right.
So,
Davey, where are you at with it? Do you think it's dope or no?
I'm going to say nope. I've got this little, I don't know what it is, sort of fascination with going out riding and not taking anything with me. It's really stupid, but like...
I have the same, yeah.
Nothing. I don't like anything with me at all. So no water bottle.
Not even a water bottle in your bike?
No.
Well, I don't count that. I can't have a backpack, but...
Okay. No backpack. Oh, mate.
Yeah.
No
you guys, what's the hottest temperature you go riding in? If I didn't take a water bottle in the middle of summer, I think I'll die.
It's fair.
Yeah, true that.
So like in England, you're like, well, I'll do my little 2-hour whiz and just drink before and after. And you guys end at the pub all the time, so that's the treat. And you need a water bottle.
All right, we got a split decision on dope or nope for water bottles, haven't we, really?
I feel like we have, yeah, we have. Split decision!
Decision.
What have you said, Ollie?
Yeah, it's dope. I love water bottles.
I said dope and Dave said dope.
Oh, yeah, it's not a split decision, it's 2-1.
This is good.
True.
2-1.
I had a really, really trick one. I can't remember the brand, and it snapped off. And then I got in touch with them to get a new one. I thought I'd just slide into the DMs, and they didn't. They shut me down, man.
You trying to do your trade deal?
It was really they're really expensive. I had this like carbon one. It was really nice.
Really?
Yeah, it snapped off in a crash cage.
Oh, right. I was gonna say. Okay.
Yeah.
I can hook you up a Syncross one. You want me to mail you one, bud?
Please, if you would. If it's not too much trouble.
I'll sort you out. Oh, I can only post essentials items, so you'll have to wait till
hydration, man. It's
essential. Oh, good point. Good point. Funny. I'll tell you a funny story about the essential items. I also got stopped by the cops and almost fined, but we'll do that later.
Go on. I want to hear it. What
about carry on with the dope or nope?
At bath time, Bill. Strava. Dope or nope?
Strava is so whack for me.
No.
Yeah, because you joined, didn't you? You went for it.
Yeah, I joined.
Start of this.
So I guess it's got two reasons why I hate it. Is one, it reveals where all the secret trails are that people have spent ages building and don't want all the idiots riding. And then secondly, when I just use it for myself to measure a ride, it makes me too competitive and I don't enjoy the ride. So it's a nope from me.
Yeah.
I'll give it a nope as well because I never downloaded it when I was racing and I had to be super competitive and I'm trying to just forget about that. Obviously, I'm competitive. I like to do well, but dude, the guys that just get it and then, I mean, you're on a trail and they'll come past track, Strava. Do you want to lose your teeth? Like, what do you mean, Strava? Get out the way. I mean, have you not had that? Maybe it's a South African thing. The guys get super competitive.
It's bad round here. I think at certain places,
it's a note for me, but I can see why. Like, you know, if it gets you out and it's driving, whatever. But yeah, I don't have it really. I don't use it.
Yeah, it's a note from me too, for very much of the same reasons that I just. I don't like it. Yeah, no worries. I don't like having it in my pocket while I'm out riding because it just makes you think, oh, I've got to go up here faster or down here faster.
Yeah,
and especially not now. It's not the time for it.
Yeah, all the corners end up with straight lines through them. So then every track's just dead straight.
Yeah,
these
I didn't
guys
really think about it like
at
that.
The bottom. Rubbish it is.
E-bikes at the bottom, panting.
Yeah, exactly. Silly people. I do get it though. I'm only messing around, but I would say overall it's a nope.
Yeah, I'd say it's a nope. We'll get Andrew's take on this one. At Jess Williams, cyclist. Ooh, white socks.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down with white socks.
Oh yeah,
sure. Please, yeah.
You wear really?
What for riding? Or he's just said white socks, hasn't he?
Yeah, white socks.
Yeah, and there's nothing better than a clean pair of white socks. Fantastic.
Wow, that's
maybe
crazy.
with a couple of bands of colour on them. Trick.
I don't know, man. Like, no, not at all. I'm not with you. I'm not with you at all. I think there was ages ago. There's a backstory to this for me. When I saw it, it made me laugh because there was the freestyle motocross video came out in 1998, and someone, I don't know which ride it was, said, "I ain't no white sock boy." And from then, I've not touched a pair of white socks. Shit you not. I do not. I've never owned a pair of white socks. That's how. What's the word? I can't remember. We used it before. I forgot it again. How sort of influenced I was. But when I was younger. And I'll always remember that. White socks, Andrew. Dope or nope?
Dope or nope?
Yeah.
White shoes are dope, but the white socks I can't wear. I'll just dirty them. Unless I'm playing golf, but I mean, if someone hears that, they're not associating golf with being that cool as a young kid, so that makes them not. Yeah, it makes it even more nope.
Yeah. There we go. I'm outnumbered.
Yeah, me.
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah, Ollie, you'll rock a good white sock. You and Brent, eh?
He's a white sock boy.
I'm not afraid, dude. I'm not afraid.
No, literally don't. I don't even know if I own a pair of tall white socks.
All right, we've done all the good ones, by the way.
White shoes, on the other hand. Okay, white shoes, dope or nope?
Yeah, cool.
Dope, but I wouldn't buy any.
You wouldn't buy any? Okay,
no.
Motocross, though, Davey.
Yeah.
I mean, you
white
cannot
boots.
not have a white boot, though.
Yeah,
and
it's so true.
You're going motocrossing, especially in England. Got to have me white boots.
That's so true. Yeah, you'd never buy another colour pair of like Tech 8s or Tech 10s, would you? You just look like a dick.
Speaking of shoes, so Nike releases their like Nike Air Max. I love it. It's one of my best shoes, like comfy trainers.
Yeah.
Called the Nike Air Max or something. They released the golf version at the Masters, so a big tournament. They make a Masters edition. I just want these shoes because to me they look cool and whatever. So long story short, I buy the shoes, normal sort of price. They get them into the store. I play with them for like 3-4 months, and then like Instagram starts going wild, and they weren't meant to release these shoes to the public. So Nike in the US made them for the Masters limited edition. Then they weren't meant to release them. So America, I don't think, got stock, but somehow a shipment made it to South Africa. And then on these, do you know that there's a shoe stock exchange? That's another crazy point.
No way.
Stock X or something. And then I get sent all these messages from a buddy. He's like, dude, are these your shoes? I'm like, yo, why? He's like, look at this. He sends me a screenshot. Someone purchased a brand new set that I play in for $3,000. I literally have them in my garage. I scrubbed them and I neatened them up, and I messaged StockX. I'm like, I'm rich, baby.
Yeah.
So I messaged them and they said, no, we can't take used shoes, you know?
Yeah.
So, dude, I'm playing in a $3,000 pair of shoes.
Wow. That's
nice.
Cool. Yeah, the shoe thing's crazy. People go, especially with Jordans too, like, people go wild for those things. I'm so surprised Ollie doesn't wear Air Jordans. I really am.
Do you have a set, Ollie?
I had an ancient set. Do you know, it's funny. When we were younger, didn't have. So when I was playing basketball, there was 4 of us. My parents had 4 children and very little money. So I always got just like plimp-soles, C&A clothing. So I never felt cool when I played basketball. Ever, man. And it counts for a lot, like why I like Troy Lee, I think is the coolest stuff because I couldn't get it when I was younger.
Yeah. And
it's the same for like basketball and Jordans and stuff like that. Like I never had them. I had these crappy cross trainers. Rightly so. My mum's got, if she buys something for me, she's then got to buy it for all of my siblings. So it ends up being really loads of money, and we didn't have any money. So anyway, my brothers, I always had a thing about my brothers copying me. It pissed me off, right? And my brother rolls up to his first basketball practice. He just so happened, we talk about it now, it's so funny. He just so happened to be in the shopping centre at the right time. They had some Jordans on sale. And I was so obsessed with Jordans and I wanted them so bad. You know, like you can't tell how much you want something when you're a kid. Yeah. You can't put it in words. You just want it so bad. And he had some and I couldn't even look at the dude. I was so pissed at him. But
were you the same shoe size or no?
So, no.
I'd love to get a set now, but those old ones he plays in, like that style, I could wear or be. Oh, got a Jordan. Yeah. They must, if they re-release stuff now after this, it must be selling like hotcakes. Yeah, I love that. He's like, dude, my feet, because I'm looking at those shoes, going, did they remake them, or those in actual old stock? Clearly old stock, like he said his feet were bleeding and shit.
They're just like dunks, aren't they? They're just like,
because the new ones look a bit crazy, like they're very good for playing basketball, but couldn't really wear them. So I'm not going to get edge. But
So anyway. I've never been able to bring myself to get any, because I couldn't have them when I really wanted them. But actually, so funny you say it, I was looking on eBay last night and
probably the worst time to be looking on eBay for Air Jordans.
No.
Is there a worse time?
It's crazy success story, isn't it? As like a sub brand, like I think they're the lead sponsor of the NFL. I think all NFL uniforms have the Jordan logo on, the Jumpman.
Really?
What Jordan? The Jordan brand?
I could be wrong. Yeah, let me one second.
He's running it on his own. It's not through Nike.
No, it's always through Nike. Yeah.
Wow.
So, have you read the Nike book on?
Oh, it's Shoe Dog.
Oh, Shoe Dog, yes.
Yeah, I have it, but I've never read it actually. I only got it recently, so.
Dude, fascinating. That company was so close to not existing so many times, and now look at the success story.
Yeah.
It's so brilliant if you think about something like that. And I mean, Jordan didn't really want to go there, and then they had a good meeting, and look where it is now. I think. Yeah, the world works in mysterious ways.
It does indeed, mate. It does
Unreal,
indeed.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So what extravagant purchase? We know Ollie wants to buy a jet ski.
Yeah.
What's something you will waste money on?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm so frugal, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm useless. I've been poor for too long, man. I don't buy anything like that. I really don't. Coffees, I guess. They're my extravagant purchases.
That's fair.
Yeah, but you're not not exactly going to get rich by not buying a cappuccino.
I remember you. Yeah, you told me that. I like that. Yeah.
I think such a good way of looking at it is, and I've heard this and read it as well, is spend how you want on things you really enjoy, be it your hobby, be it makes you happy within reason.
Yeah.
And then like cut on shit that you don't care about. If you don't care about shoes, no point wasting money on shoes.
Mate.
Or if you like good coffee, have a good coffee in the morning. It makes you happy anyway.
Yeah, too right. If I ever make a purchase, I have to like really research it. It's so funny. I have to really, really know what I want. And like it just comes from never having any money, I think. Being a bum for so long.
Do you get buyer's remorse? You know,
big time, dude. I'm the worst person to go shopping with because I pick it up and then just put it back, and I never buy anything. Dude, I'm in this. I haven't had to buy t-shirts since I was like 16, so I'm literally just in free t-shirts. I'm in free clothes all my life.
No, I'm also super lucky. But Elon Musk, so he was on Joe Rogan. He's like he's selling a lot of his assets and stuff and minimalizing. He's going through a super interesting stage, right? It makes. I think to a certain extent makes a lot of sense. We've got a lot of shit we don't actually need.
And he was saying too, which is really interesting, that he's getting rid of it mainly because people use it as a weapon against him.
And I was going to say, I remember that.
How crazy is that?
He says like when you're a billionaire, like it's just people like to attack you and.
Yeah.
But then again, so the reason he built such a big house, you heard that he's saying that the one house people were getting over the wall and they were getting into his property, so. He started researching where he could buy a property and acquire another one in an area that would be better, and no one knew where it was. And that's why he has so many properties to try hide from people, which is also a very big
what a headache.
What a headache, like a first world problem.
Yeah.
But it is a problem. You aspire to be a celebrity or Jordan, then you got to deal with that shit. Not everyone can handle that.
I couldn't handle it, man. I couldn't handle it. So does that mean we found something that Elon Musk and Deeks have in common?
What? Loads of property.
They're both flogging stuff on. Yeah, that as well. They're both flogging stuff on Facebook Marketplace at the minute.
Oh, that cracked me up, old Deeks, eh? I'm going to have him on the podcast, and if someone asks, but why or who is he, like a top... So I always coined the thing that, you know, adding value through top athletes and industry leaders who get to the pinnacle of their sport. Now looking back, maybe it was a bit of an oversell if I'm going to... But Deaconator, to me, does inspire me.
Yeah.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
He inspires me to the point that his attitude towards life after, you know, what he went through and what he saw. And now you can see there's certain shit that doesn't faze him. And he's just going to look.
Man. For sure.
And now he's a mountain bike celeb. I mean, how else do we put it? He is a brand.
He's an influencer.
An influencer, yeah. But some influencers, oh God. But Deeks has carved a niche and he adds values to the kids and he goes to the races and, you know, Olly would know. He works with them alongside him at DMR and they make product together and you're thinking, oh, but why Deeks? Well, kids like him and he inspires people to go riding.
Hey, he's doing his thing, isn't he? He's doing his thing. It's authentically him.
And then we can take the piss as well. So. But you can take the piss of me. I mean, if you can't laugh at yourself, what's the point?
Too right.
Hey, I have something I just remembered that I wanted to bring up. If you remember, Ollie, at the end of the last one, I was going to ask you a question, and I was like, no, wait till the next one. But this could be kind of fitting. And then we'll work towards wrapping up, if that's all right, Andrew, because we're close to 2 hours, which is a long time for this. People have to listen to this shit. So what I was going to ask you, Ollie, and Andrew. So, Ollie, you've been around on the circuit for like a long time. Right. But right now, it feels like we're in quite a sort of exciting time because of social media, and we got vlogs and blogs and Instagram and all this sort of jogs and all these ogs. Got loads of ogs happening.
Yeah.
So, is this like an exciting... Do you look at it still as like an exciting time for mountain biking? Or if you went all the way back to when both of you first started being pro and doing magazine shoots and stuff, I don't really know how I'm trying to word this, but was it as exciting then? What were you trying to do? Like get covers and get content? And
So I think back then, everything had more value. Whereas now there's a lot more quantity.
Right.
So that's the biggest takeaway. Whether it's better or worse, I don't know, because honestly, I'm a product of it and I'm very happy and I just enjoy all of it. Is just so I can ride my bike more. But I think there was something cool about going out and trying to get a cover of a magazine and then kind of being a bit like, and I'm sure, Andrew, I'm sure you're the same. Let's say you get a result at a race. It counted for more back then than it does now, I feel.
Yeah, the results did a little bit because there was more racing and less of this other stuff.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the best guys were racing. And now we have incredible athletes doing everything. But to your point, magazines and yes, you can buddy up with a photographer and he gets a good shot. But there was something about seeing those shots. I did a lot of cleaning during lockdown, my garage and all shit. And I found all these old magazines. I was sending them to Sven and he would send. And I was... Dude, if you got an article, a picture, or an interview, I mean, it had weight. It's in this magazine.
Yeah.
So, yes, there is a lot more quantity, and with that becomes the dilution of it, and it's just gone in a second. So I love what I'm doing. I appreciate it, but it was good back then. It was fun. There was something fulfilling about hiking up, getting that shot, not knowing if you would. Now it's like, oh, put it on Instagram. I've done my work, and it's tough. You want to add value, but there's a lot of people expecting content.
I think there was a natural filter back then, which I liked, because I knew that when I opened the pages of Dirt, I knew that the boys at Dirt had picked all of the stuff they put in there. That was the coolest shit that was going on. So then when you go in there, you're like, fuck, I'm part of something that's been vetted, and it's like, this is certified cool. You know?
Yeah.
And whereas now I can ride around with a dildo on my head and talk to myself, and I don't really know, I'm not like some fucking consultant at call. I don't know what I'm putting out. I don't have enough confidence in myself that I can actually see that it's actually good. And no one's really telling you. You're the master of your own channel, really. So it's like, I quite liked it back then for that reason. But then equally, I wouldn't have a job, so...
Yeah, I mean, because of the internet, we got live racing commentary. I'm called an ambassador, whatever. I didn't come up with a phrase, and my goal was always to add value or test and do other things. But people need content, so we go on these trips. But like Olly said, there's no one vets it. Just goes on Instagram, and you build this following. It's that joke, like, what would all the models do if Instagram disappeared?
Yeah,
and same as the bikers. So. It's a super interesting time. We're lucky to be in it, Olly. I agree. Yeah. And there are kids that get inspired because of Instagram and go out and ride, and that's good. You can sleep well at night knowing that you know, if you put up stuff you feel you're true to and you think can inspire kids, so be it. But it's interesting just putting shit up for clicks and likes. It's the same as news these days.
Yeah, it's what's different, I think, was you were more led back then by riding, whereas now you see people, they're not really up to scratch riding wise, and they're putting stuff out in order to get views, and that to me is weird. Like the vetting of it was cool, because then you knew that anyone in the magazine you saw was rad. Anyone in that magazine was a really sick rider, really, weren't they? They were either really sick at racing, they had a really good style, they're an amazing free rider. They were there for a reason. Whereas now, if you're putting it out yourself and you've got a big platform, you can be a load of shit and still be relevant.
If you're good at marketing, if you're good at playing the algorithm game and stuff like that.
They're still good at something. No one's there for no reason. Yeah. But equally, it probably can lead people astray. If you follow like someone who's a YouTuber who, I don't know. I don't want to talk smack on anyone because everyone's doing their thing. But like, back then, certainly, you knew what you were looking at was the best shit, and it made it a bit clearer path.
Dave's wasn't the question more, did you enjoy it more? What was the actual crux of it? Because we have dissected what it's like,
it was
what
more
the differences are. But personally, it's you can have an opinion if you enjoyed it more then or now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did at a certain, I don't know. I mean, I still enjoy riding, and some days it's a first world problem. I'm not complaining, but some days, you're kind of riding and you've got to get your connie, but you didn't go riding. It's super interesting. It's almost like you've got to say, okay, today I'm not taking the phone. I'm just going to go biking with my mates. And I think if you don't do that, you're soon going to lose the love of it.
Yeah. I can't think, because ultimately biking it's remained so fun, and it's been my sole motivation. I couldn't care less. I mean, honestly, if I had to drop everything and just do TikTok videos of me dancing so that I can keep riding, I'd probably do it, dude. If I had to do bloody milk deliveries in order to stay a pro rider, I'd probably do it. You know, I like riding that much, so.
But you would also ride if there was no YouTube or no Instagram. You would ride your bike.
But being a pro rider is just a tool to me to ride more. It's not like it's not like I'm not like chasing the Yankee dollar or anything like that.
It's a bonus.
Different career, man. I'd study law or something.
Yeah, you'd be good at that, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, I'm not sure I'd handle that. Are you on TikTok, Ollie?
Yeah, I fully don't understand it. We talked about it before. I just don't get the tone, man. I'm not dancing on it. I just post. I don't even know what you're meant to post. I don't understand it.
Have you made one? Are you going to push it?
I've got a TikTok account, just so no one steals it and puts up, I don't know, weird stuff. It seems like the whole thing is weird anyway, so.
Dude, I'm too scared to go down another rabbit hole. I mean, that would be another freaking
bad rabbit hole, man.
Your day or something.
For sure. Yeah, I'm not going down that one at all. Right, we need to work towards wrapping up, boys.
Nice one, Davey.
No, thank you. Thank you, Andrew, for joining us.
No, I'm honoured. I appreciate that you wanted me back on and that anyone else gives it a listen or cares. So thank you, honestly. I'm still humble and honoured that we're in this career and people want to listen or see what we create. It's cool.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you. Do you want to, if it's okay, Andrew, if you just hang up, me and Ollie are just going to wrap up real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers, guys. Thanks for hooking us, listeners.
Speak to you shortly, dude. Thank you for joining us.
Cheers, boys.
Whoosh. Awesome.
Fantastic. What a guy.
Lovely bloke.
Episode 9 wrapped up, huh?
Yep, we're just going to do the announcement for the winner of this melon thing.
Yes.
Because we've made people wait until the very end to find out.
They've worked for it. They've worked
you've
for
won a pair of goggles. But Melon have chosen 2 people who have won. Do you want to know who they are?
Please. I've been trying to find out this whole episode.
Well, you shit out of luck. All right. 2 winners of a new pair of Melon Diablo MTB custom goggles are at OW_. Okay, it's at Tahiti Girl MTB. Winner number 1. Hers look pretty sick. They're a jet ski theme. Kind of cool.
Nice.
And number 2 winner is at DMD_1986.
Nice. He's born the same year as me.
And me.
Good year.
Good year.
It's a good
Amazing.
Year.
It's the good
wicked
year.
Hey, if you put something up, tag me in it. I'll retweet it to celebrate, or whatever you call it. Re-tick it.
Yeah. All right. I'll throw something up. I think that's it, innit?
Nice one, dude. Yeah, we're all out of topics now. We only save them for next week.
Yeah, we can save some more. Because it looks like we're going into week 10, which nobody guessed week 10 either.
Jono have 10. No, Jono's got 11, hasn't he?
Jono went 11, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jono went 12. Jono went 12. BK went 11.
BK could be in for a win. He could. Or Jono. Who knows?
And then we need to start... People keep messaging about this, which is really nice, about planning for the Freedom Ride at Rogate.
Freedom Ride. Look forward to it, yeah.
Yeah, man. Cool. All right. It's been a blast. Thanks everyone again for listening. Always appreciate everyone out there for getting involved. Bit more of a serious episode today, which is nice.
Yeah, serious, man, yeah.
A little bit more. And, let's wrap up.
Wicked. Cheers, Easy. Dog. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Wait there.